Hey everybody, Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com here in San Jose, California. WrestleMania 31 from the Levi's Stadium has just wrapped up. I'll give you my quick thoughts here on the show. I'll have more opinions later in the week on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Overall, I thought WrestleMania 31 was a very entertaining show from start to finish. I had a very good time there live. The atmosphere really did make a difference compared to watching it on television. For the most part, the live crowd was really into the show. They were cheering for just about everything. They remained hot for most of the show. It got a little cool during the middle, but overall, I thought it was a very good crowd, and I think that for the most part, the matches were very good. I enjoyed a couple of the finishes on the show. Let's start off with the pre-show matches. Both pre-show matches I thought were very good. I thought the tag team match was enjoyable. The Andre Battle Royal, I was entertained by it. Wasn't a fan of the finish. Big Show winning, I mean, whatever. The match wasn't that important to begin with, so didn't really bother me all that much. I just don't understand Big Show winning and the logic with that. Big Show, the young, up-and-coming superstar winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And basically, they erased everything from the previous year with Cesaro getting tossed out by Big Show. To me, it was just counterproductive. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was laid out well, and there were some cool spots. Moving on to the main card. Kicked off on a high note with the ladder match. Excellent match. Really fun to watch. Crowd was insanely behind Daniel Bryan. And of course, Daniel Bryan did in fact end up winning the match. I was really happy about that. It was a special moment. You had Pat Patterson out there. Made the IC title seem like a big deal. Thumbs up for that match. Next up, we had Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I thought that this was a very good match. It delivered in my opinion. It was as good as I expected going in. And I love the finish with Seth Rollins going for the curb stomp, and then he gets lifted in the air, turned into an RKO. I thought that that was beautiful. Really enjoyed it. And then the show continued on a high note. We had Triple H versus Sting. Early on in the show, I was not expecting this match to go on so soon, but I felt that Sting gave it his all. He came out there, he wrestled without a shirt, he looked to be in very good shape, and the two of them had a pretty good match. But then things got interesting. We had DX coming out, we had the Outlaws and X-Pac coming out to try and help Triple H, and then the NWO came out, Hogan, Hall, and Nash, to help Sting. Now, in person, I was into this. I was like, oh wow, this is cool, DX is back, the NWO's back. But looking back, really didn't make any sense. I mean, X-Pac was a member of the NWO at one point, and why is the NWO helping Sting when they were enemies? I guess the idea of the storyline is that it was WCW versus WWE. But this is what really bothered me, and that was the finish. Triple H beating Sting. To me, this was a mistake. Sting should have won his first match. And it really felt like a political move. It felt like WWE once again has to prove to the world that WWE was number one and WCW was the inferior product and the WCW superstars were second rate. WWE just had to prove it again with this match. I don't understand how this is best for business. I guess WWE just has to make sure that their brand is clearly number one, and any fans that thought, hey, maybe WCW was something special because they had Sting, well, not really. So, yeah, I wasn't a fan of this. And this is when the show really started to decline for me. It started off really hot. In the middle, it was so-so. You had John Cena versus Rusev. It was a good match, I will say that. But I felt that it was very predictable. John Cena winning for the United States. And what was going on with the fans? They're booing John Cena, but then they're chanting USA. I mean, what's the deal here? Pick a side. And we had Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Undertaker looked to be in decent shape for his age. It was a fine match. Not a great match by any stretch of the imagination, but I did like the spot when Bray Wyatt was doing his creepy backwards walk, and then The Undertaker sat up. Undertaker gets the win as I expected. And then we had the main event. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And I forgot to mention the Divas title match. Lots of people were leaving during that for concessions or whatever. Just your typical Divas match, nothing all that special. But the main event, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I felt that this was a good match. Brock Lesnar destroyed Roman Reigns for most of it. Roman Reigns made a big comeback. He posted Brock Lesnar at one point, and Lesnar was busted open the hard way. And then you had Seth Rollins come out and cash in Money in the Bank, and it officially became a triple threat. And lots of back and forth at the end, lots of intensity, and then finally Seth Rollins pins Roman Reigns. It's funny, when Seth Rollins first came out there, I thought that he was going to end up taking the fall. I felt, oh wow, this is going to be a cheap ploy by WWE to have Roman Reigns win the title without beating Lesnar. But instead it was Seth Rollins beating Roman Reigns to win the title without beating Brock Lesnar. So to me, this was a really interesting move by WWE. I think that it was, in terms of making the crowd happy, the right move, because the place just went absolutely nuts. They hated Roman Reigns with a passion, and they were so happy when Seth Rollins came out and won the title, and everyone left the arena happy. So, I cannot really criticize WWE for that. But to me, it's an interesting way to end Brock Lesnar's title reign without him actually losing. And I guess, he's still undefeated since ending Undertaker's streak. So I guess they can keep that going, and somebody else will eventually beat Brock Lesnar whenever. I figured Lesnar would go down at WrestleMania. So it's very interesting booking by WWE. Also wanted to mention The Rock coming out during the segment with Triple H and Stephanie. And Triple H looking perfectly fine after his brutal WrestleMania encounter with Sting. And Ronda Rousey from the UFC came out. This segment just went way too long. Felt like a Raw segment. So overall, I had a good time. Being there live in person, it was a fun experience. And I give it a thumbs up. I've heard some negative reviews about the commentary, but I'll have to look back on that. But I will say I had a very good time at WrestleMania, and it was a fun show from start to finish. I'll have more of my thoughts this coming week. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest.